Question 13, we want to write the number 0.000000 into standard form. Alright, so remember, the number at the front always has to be between 1 and 10. Essentially, it's just like the first proper digit that you get from this one. So this one is going to be a 7. We then always get the same thing in the middle for standard form, and it is always times 10, because that's what standard form actually is. Alright, the number at the very end tells us how many places the decimal point has moved. So we know that it's finished here after the 7, and it started there. So I can just count 1, 2, 3, it's quite hard to do this on the board, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's gone 7 places, so it is 7 times 10 to the 7. Last thing I need to remember, because this is a small number, it's a 0.000 number, it gets a minus on it to show that it's small. Second one is doing the opposite. Okay, so this time I'm going to get the 3 ends up back out at the front. Okay, I then need to count how many places the decimal point is going to move. So it starts off here, because that's 3.0 essentially. It needs to go 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it ends up here. So I fill in the zeros from there. Be really careful that when you've done the loops on your diagram that you don't draw a decimal point there, because then it looks like you've written 3 point something. It needs to just have the 3 without the decimal point there. And if you need to write it out again, then do that. Okay. Last one, work out 4 times 10 to the 3 times 8 times 10 to the 5. So, because I'm timesing these, it doesn't matter what order I times numbers in. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to times the numbers first, and then I'm going to times these bits together. So, 4 times 8 is 32. 10 to the 3 times 10 to the 5. If we are timesing, it means we add the powers together, so we end up getting times 10 to the power of 8. This isn't quite in standard form, because if this was in standard form, it wouldn't have 32 at the front, it would have 3.2. So I need to divide that number by 10. Because I've divided that number by 10, it means I have to times the other one by 10. So this is going to become times 10 to the power of 9.